85% of women don't feel true desire the moment they meet you. They don't get aroused just because you smiled, dressed well, or said the right words. But there's one thing that flips the switch inside her, something most men never do. Stay with me till the end, because once you learn this, everything changes. In fact, studies and countless experiences show that for most women, physical attraction is not the starting point. It's the end result of a much deeper process. Here's the part most men completely miss. Arousal for women isn't instant, it's layered. It doesn't switch on like a light, it builds like a fire. And until you understand what sparks that fire, you'll always wonder why she pulls away, why she wasn't in the mood, or why the connection faded just when you thought you had it. Men who don't know this chase, beg, or try to force attraction, and every time they fail. But the man who understands this sequence, who knows what must happen before desire even begins, he doesn't need to chase at all. She feels drawn without even knowing why. And today, I'll break down exactly what has to happen first, so you never confuse polite interest with genuine desire again. Before a woman feels any physical pull toward you, she has to feel something much deeper: safety. Not just the kind of safety where she knows you won't hurt her, but the emotional safety that tells her she can relax in your presence. Most men think attraction is built on compliments, money, or looks. But if she feels uneasy, pressured, or judged, even in the smallest way, her body shuts down. That's why 85% of women never feel true desire with men who try too hard or act desperate for approval. Safety is created in silence, in calm energy, in the way you carry yourself. When she senses you are grounded, that you don't need her reaction to validate you, she can finally lower her guard. And that's when the door to real arousal begins to open. It's not about convincing her or talking her into it. It's about showing through your presence that you're unshakable, that she can breathe around you without fear of being consumed. Once she feels safe in your presence, the next trigger is emotional tension. Not chaos, not drama, but a subtle spark that makes her lean in and wonder about you. If you give her everything at once, your thoughts, your feelings, your full attention, her mind gets bored. But when you hold back just enough, when you let silence carry more weight than words, she begins to fill in the gaps with her own imagination. That tension activates a part of her psychology most men never touch. Her body starts to respond to the unknown, to the mystery, to the possibility that you're more than what she can see on the surface. It's not manipulation, it's alignment with her nature. Because a woman doesn't want to figure you out in the first 5 minutes. She wants to discover you slowly, piece by piece, like turning the pages of a book she can't put down. So the second step is not chasing, not revealing too much, but creating space for tension to grow naturally. This is where desire begins to take root. Before we move on to the next step of turning her curiosity into deep desire, make sure you subscribe so you never miss the secrets that separate real men from the rest. Most men think arousal is about physical touch, but they're wrong. Women's bodies respond only when their minds feel something first. It's not the words you use, it's not the compliments, it's the unshakable energy you carry. When you walk into a room, does she feel calm, safe, and drawn to your presence? Or does she feel nothing at all? Her body waits for a signal that tells her you're not like the others, that you're a man who doesn't need her validation, that you move through the world with certainty, even when everything else feels uncertain. This is the spark she can't control. It bypasses logic. It bypasses the excuses she tells herself. Suddenly, her mind starts to quiet down, and her body begins to respond in ways even she doesn't understand. So what can you actually do to trigger this response? First, stop rushing. Women don't feel safe or drawn to men who are desperate for a reaction. Slow down your words, slow down your movements, and let silence do some of the work for you. Second, keep your frame unshaken. When she teases, when she tests, when she throws mixed signals at you, don't flinch. Every time you hold your ground, you send her nervous system the signal that you're in control, not of her, but of yourself. And third, lead with your presence, not your need. If you walk into an interaction already craving her approval, she feels it instantly. But if you walk in grounded, calm, and already fulfilled, her body will start to respond, even before she realizes it. This is how you separate yourself from the men she forgets. This is how you become the man her body remembers. Here's the next piece most men overlook: discipline. Stoic discipline is not about being rigid or robotic. It's about mastering yourself so deeply that your emotions never hijack your actions. She feels this. When you don't explode in anger, when you don't fold under pressure, when you don't let lust dictate your behavior, her body interprets that as strength. Then comes emotional control. Every man can smile when things go well, but only the rare man can stay calm when things go wrong. The way you breathe, the way you respond, the way you remain centered, it makes her nervous system settle. That calm is more attractive than any charm or pickup line you could ever use. And finally, the real shift: becoming the man women respect, desire, and chase. Not by seeking her validation, but by being so grounded in your purpose that she feels she has to earn your attention. You stop being a man who asks for her energy, and you become the man whose presence she naturally gravitates toward. When you combine these elements, discipline, emotional control, and presence, you create something she can't resist: certainty. Most men are uncertain. They second-guess themselves. They ask too many questions. They try to read her mind instead of leading with their own. That uncertainty kills attraction instantly. But when you stand in certainty, everything changes. Your words carry more weight. Your silence feels stronger. Your movements feel intentional. She may not even know why, but she feels safer, more drawn, and more aroused around you. This is why 85% of women don't truly feel desire until they encounter a man who embodies these traits. It's not about tricks. It's not about games. It's about becoming the man whose energy she can't ignore. And that's the final truth. A woman's mind may test you, but her body reveals the answer every time. If you can give her stability without being shaken and strength without ever boasting, she will follow you without resistance. If you've made it this far, you already know the truth. Attraction isn't built on words or approval. It's built on the energy you carry, the discipline you live by, and the emotional control that makes you unshakable. This is the Stoic path. Remember, a woman doesn't fall for what you say. She falls for who you become. And the strongest men don't chase chaos. They command peace. And that is what makes them irresistible. If this resonated with you, make sure to like this video. It tells me to create more content for men walking the same path. Now I want to hear from you. What's the next topic you want me to break down? Female psychology, masculine energy, or the hidden dynamics of attraction? Drop your thoughts below.